Awesome, we're live.
Hi guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hey. I'm gonna tweet that we're live.
Yay. While she does that, does someone want to start with what they're reading today?
Sure. I am Tiffany from the Beach Bum Bookworm. My channel is mostly about cozy mysteries and romance, and today I'm reading the first book in a new cozy mystery series called Poppy Harmon Investigates by Lee Hollis.
Awesome. Robin, do you want to go next?
Sure. I'm Robin Rose Graves from Spicy Miso Ramen. Spicy Miso Robin's me on Twitter. You can follow me there as well. I mostly read science fiction books, and today I am revisiting a series from my childhood that I never finished reading back then. I am reading the third book of the Animorph series.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. I'm Kristen from Moonlit Books. I mostly read YA, contemporary fantasy, sci-fi, anything YA really. And today I'm reading Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab, and I read the first book in this duology quite literally 5 years ago. So I'm on the same page as you, Robin.
Yeah. Mine was a little bit longer ago. I was literally in grade school when I was reading these books. So.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Did you remember?
I'm reading The Sorceress from Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel. It is book 3 in the series, so I'm still on the series, but it's good. I like it.
Nice.
Excellent.
All right.
Did Tiffany ever get back with you?
Not yet.
Okay. I'm sure she'll pop in when she gets the chance.
Yeah, I'm sure she can join when she can.
Yeah. So, is everybody? Go right ahead.
It's almost 12:10. You guys want to do a reading sprint?
Yeah,
I'm ready for whatever you are.
Ready.
How about until 12:30?
Sure.
Works for me.
Sure. Hey, Johara,
well,
so I don't
for some of you.
Johara, so I don't forget. Can you just put in the chat like reading till like 0.30? Because sometimes I forget. I do, or I'm listening. Yeah.
Looks like Johara froze.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Happy reading, everyone.
Back to us.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
She's here twice now.
Oh my god.
I don't know how that happened.
I love it. There we go.
Someone's here.
Hello.
Hi. Glad you could join us. We are about to do a sprint until 30 after. So tell us what you're reading, and then we'll come back. Let's see.
Awesome.
a stake in me. God, I love being a turtle! God, I love being a turtle! Oh, someone put a stake in me.
How did
Hello.
sprints go?
What's
That
that?
was good.
God, I love being a turtle!
Who is text tone is that? I think it's hilarious. Is Johara frozen again?
Oh, maybe.
Gross.
Did she say it was hers? Is that yours,
It's mine.
Jahar? Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
reading sprint was good, but I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of editing for a video that I need to post tomorrow. But I'm going to go back and forth between kind of the editing and my book.
Cool.
Oh, no.
That's fine.
She'll be back. I
Yeah,
hope.
absolutely. What about you guys?
I got through a
Mine's
couple of
good.
chapters, but mostly because like they're really short. I also forgot I was doing laundry, so I had to leave for like 10 minutes to like finish my laundry. So
We love that.
It
Um,
happens. It happens.
yeah, I don't know. I don't. My brain is like gone today. So
Yeah. Yeah, I read like 20 pages. It was good.
nice.
I'm getting like close-ish to the end, so things are getting like a little bit more crazy than they already were. I'm
Nice.
starting to get stressed.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't know how this is gonna resolve itself. It's fine.
Gotcha. Jahara, was your sprint good?
Yeah, my book's doing really good. We're getting more like. I really like this one character, and we're finally getting to see more of her, which makes me happy.
Nice.
Nice. That's the best feeling though, when it's like I want to see more about this character, and the author delivers. Like,
True.
Exactly. Oh no. She's having such.
Poor Johara.
I know.
Her internet is not liking her.
No.
You know, some days are just like that.
Right.
You know? I preferred when she spawned into two people. That was some real sci-fi stuff right there.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm reading The Cruel Prince.
I've heard of that. I don't know anything about it though.
Yeah, it sounds cool. I'm not familiar with it though.
Who's the author? And tell us if you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, you know, it does sound like a familiar name, but I feel like I don't hardly read any fantasy, and I feel like that could be in any fantasy series that I hear people talk about.
Yeah.
Like that title could fit into like any one of like, say, a ton of them. So
I think it's Holly Black. It is Holly Black. Look at me go.
nice.
It's the first book in the Folk of the Air series.
Okay. Interesting.
That's all I've got.
Let us know if you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Why Jahara's in cyberspace.
Oh man.
So, Robin, are you doing physical book or are you doing audiobook? I know Kristen's doing physical.
I'm
and
actually doing a digital book, so
Oh,
I
I
read it
didn't
on my
even.
computer. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Love it.
Awesome. Do you read most of your books that way, or do you have a preference? Or
I actually prefer to read physical books, but because like this series has so many books and they're very short, and like I've literally read like a book in like 2 days pretty much. There's no point of me, getting them, or I'm not really comfortable going to the library yet, so
Fair.
I'm kind of just doing what I can right now. But
absolutely.
like I'm reading this series digitally, and then
Yeah.
night I usually read a physical book, but I just finished my physical book read last night, so I'm in between books there right now. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, I think for a lot of people, for me, I had to really learn during COVID, especially. I was already trying not to buy books before, but I really had to adjust even more. But really, what I had to adjust to was, so I get almost all my books now from the library in some sort of format, but they're all usually from the library, even if it's a digital library service. And I have to get what I can get when it's in. So I had to really wrap my brain around not always being able to read series in order, because if I'm that stuck on that idea,
Mhm.
and I was for so long, that like I wouldn't have anything to read. I'm like, well, clearly I can't do that. So I had to get like oh gosh, it was a big adjustment for me, but it's worked out and I'm very thankful for them.
So our Cozy Mysteries series, they're like standalones, but they have like so you don't have to read them in order.
Right. Yeah. There might be things like that do happen that are part of the overall story. So like if the main character maybe gets married eventually in book like 6, or something like that. But but each book is a standalone as far as the murder case and actually, that sort of thing. And usually you could pick up book 6, even if like of any series, and the author gives you enough of a backstory that you're good to go. It's just my narcotic, yeah, it's just me being,
No, I totally get it.
neurotic about reading books out of order, but I've gotten better with it. But yeah, cozies are a little better at that. And the same with a lot of the romances I read. A lot of those are series, but they're definitely standalones. They're just series in the sense like it might be the same family and there's multiple siblings and each book is about a different sibling or something like that. But really, they're still standalones.
Yeah.
Thank good. Gosh, I don't read like the fantasy because there's no way you could read those out of order.
No.
Right.
Those definitely have to go in order or you would be very confused.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Most definitely.
So what are some of your favorite books that you guys read, either just this year or even what your top reads from last year were? I'm sorry, I haven't watched your channels that much, so if you answered it there.
No, you're good.
Tiffany, like,
I'm teasing.
I wish I could ever answer this question off the cuff, but the second someone asks me what I've read recently or what I like to read, my brain goes, "There's nothing in here." It's gone.
Oh, well, I can always talk about books that I love. So sometimes to the point where honest to goodness, I was like, I should start a channel because I'm starting to scare people. I'd be at the grocery store and people would be like, "Hi, how are you?" Like strangers. And I'm like, clearly they want to hear about the latest cozy mystery I read. And that is so not true.
so
that's
true.
incredible.
So iconic,
we were grabbing
honest.
their children. I was, and leading them away from me. Okay, this is not true. I'm totally exaggerating, but I'm just saying that's what it is.
Oh, I love it.
But I mostly Robin only read romance and cozies. But yeah, I've read some great cozies recently. I don't know if you read them at all, but oh, okay.
But I'd love to hear about them. Don't take that as a hint that I don't want to hear about it.
So what do you know the concept kind of behind cozy mysteries?
A little bit, because my mom really likes to read them, so I know from her.
Tell your mom to subscribe.
I think she would genuinely like your YouTube channel, but she's not very tech savvy. But she loves Debbie McComber and
I love her.
Trying to think of who else you mentioned that I'm yeah, my mom loves that. So I'm if I ever get her into YouTube, I'm I think she'd really like your channel, to be honest.
That is awesome. That is great. Well, cozy's the main kind of concept is the sleuth is always an amateur sleuth. So they're not like a detective that solves crimes. They're a florist who also solves murder mysteries, or a baker who also solves murder mysteries. Yeah, Kristen, it's amazing. It gives, And then there's no like, blood and gore and kind of scary stuff because I'm the biggest scaredy cat in the world and can't handle anything like at all. And I think in general, just so without getting into a bunch of series that you've never heard of, like the subgenres, I really like the culinary cozy. So I like the ones that are set in like bakeries or candy shops. I like the ones that are set in like libraries. There's a lot of them where the sleuth is like a librarian or a bookstore owner. I like those, or B&Bs, just different things like that. So what about you? What are your favorites? I know not cozy, but I mean of what you read.
Yeah, I read mostly sci-fi. My two favorite authors right now are Becky Chambers, who wrote the Wayfarer series, and Charlie Jane Anders, who pretty much only writes standalone. But she wrote this book called The City in the Middle of the Night, and it was my top read of last year. And she's an incredible world builder. She's so creative and isn't like afraid to be exceptionally weird. Highly recommend if you're ever interested in sci-fi. One of my favorites.
Cool. The Wayfarer series, I feel like I've heard of that. Can you just give me like the general synopsis? Because I think I've heard of it, but I'm not positive.
Probably. It's a space opera, so dealing with alien civilizations. Each of her books are like standalone, in which you could read them out of order, because they're all just take place in the same universe, not so much the same plots. I'm trying to think of like what would ring a bell. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on what else that would really be like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. But yeah, she's coming out with a new book this year, so maybe that's why you've heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounded like a series that I'd heard of, and it maybe just from that, like, heard the name, because a lot of YouTubers do like sci-fi and fantasy, and so I still see and hear a lot of those books because I like a lot of those people. I just don't necessarily always read what they read, so maybe I've probably heard of it through them.
I totally relate. I'll just like watch like booktubers that well, I don't read the same stuff they read, but like I just like to hear them talk about books and like experience the book that way instead of having to actually read it myself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And some booktubers like will almost convince me, and I'm like, but I don't like horror books. How is she doing this? I'm like, she's like a trance. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I'm a scaredy cat. I would have nightmares forever, but she's making me want to read the book. It's amazing.
Kristen, what about the books that you like to read? What are any of your top favorites?
I'm like just like gonna look at my bookshelf, be like, hello, because I have no memory. It's horrific of me. I mean, I really love like YA contemporary is probably like most of what I read. I think I like fantasy more, but I read more contemporary just because it reads faster and like it's easier than fantasy is. I'm trying to think of like anything that I've read recently. I really like Jenna Evans Welch. She has like this little series that's kind of like, it takes place there's 3 of them, and they take place in different locations. So the first one is Love and Gelato, and it takes place in Italy. And it's just like a stupid, like, meet cute story. Like, all 3 of them are very similar, but they're like just precious.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of her yet, but I'll have to check her out then.
Yes, her books are just like so light and fluffy and dumb, and I love them.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a book that's like a hug, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
For sure.
I don't know if Johara's still here, but Johara, if you can hear me, any favorite books of yours, any favorite authors? That's what we're discussing right now.
I know there's a delay, so as soon as
Right, I'm like watching her move like pixel by pixel. Like, what's she gonna say?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you're
are the two of her again?
Is she
Second Johar.
spawning?
Is she spawning?
I'm like,
Oh my
fingers crossed
goodness.
for that.
It's the darndest thing. Oh, see, I was right, Kristen.
You were.
Hi, Gisela.
Who's here? Hello.
We got you back?
Johara, did you make it?
Yeah,
Excellent.
I'm
Yay.
getting on my nerves today. But to answer your question, I mostly read fantasy, and I love a lot of series. I love the Effigies trilogy, which is about like 4 girls who can all wield a different element, and it follows the newest fire effigy. She has to get all the effigies together to uncover a scheme, like from the SACT kind of government scheme, I guess you could say. The scheme Jagger told Tiffany about.
Oh,
No.
no. So close.
Oh, goodness.
Bye, Johara. We'll miss you while you're
I
gone.
know. R.I.P.
I know. I feel like we should start another sprint, but I don't want to start one like without her.
Right.
Yeah. Are you with us?
But my favorite author. Yes. My iPad's getting on my nerves.
I'm so sorry.
It's frustrating.
My favorite author is Erin Hunter, who surprisingly doesn't write fantasy, but Erin Hunter's still my favorite. And my favorite series is Seekers. I absolutely love it, and it's so underrated.
So, what is that considered? It's not considered fantasy. What is it considered?
Adventure with action.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's like Warrior Cats, but with bears. Is that's kind of what I got from it, where it's like animals are main characters, and it's about like I have no idea how to put that in a genre, but that's like the closest thing I can think of. That's pretty cool though. I never read Warrior Cats, but
Let me tell you, I had never heard of this Warrior Cat series at all until 2 weeks ago. One of my best friends started rereading the series, and she was like, we're doing it again. And I was like, I've never heard of these before. And so I like deep dive, and I have no interest in reading them, but I can't believe that like this is such a big thing that I never knew existed until literally 2 weeks ago.
I can't believe you didn't know about it either. Like I never read it growing up, but like I knew of it.
Yeah.
I have never heard of it.
Apparently it was like pretty big like when I was in probably like middle school, and I like it somehow completely like missed me. Like I don't know where I was.
Gotcha.
I was way into adulthood, so that's my excuse.
That's fair. I just like don't. Also, apparently the Warrior series has like 40 something books in it. Like she's still actively writing books in this series.
That is crazy. When
Isn't
books
that wild?
go that long.
That's
Warriors, yeah.
So
Like,
crazy.
like I'm a
I plan on
writer
catching up
myself,
on
but I
Warriors soon.
cannot imagine sticking with a story for years and years and years and years. Like I don't have the attention span to write that. Like
It's crazy.
I mean, good for everyone who can, but like that's beyond me.
Yeah.
So, so you said you write?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. Do
Sci-fi.
you what's that?
Sci-fi, obviously.
Sci-fi. Okay. I figured that's where what genre you were at. Do you have anything out that we can check out?
So far my only publications are short stories. But I do have at least 2 short stories that have been featured on the podcast called Simultaneous Times. and they do like a live reading of it. They did an excellent job with it. Like listening to it, I'm just like, oh my god, I wrote this. Like it doesn't even feel like my story anymore. They just completely bring it to life.
That's
I have
awesome.
the most recent one in my pinned tweet if you ever want to listen to it. But yeah, so far only publications I have out are just short stories, and that's mainly what I've been submitting out. My current whip is still in the second draft, so it's going to be a bit before it'll be out there to read. But yeah, just
Totally fair.
hang
That's
out.
that's
Hopefully
awesome.
something will come of it.
There you go.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jahara, how were your writing sprints yesterday?
Good. Yeah, it was good.
Excellent.
Got to be productive.
Did you get
Awesome.
any more done after we finished yesterday?
I did some writing after the sprints were over, and I got a good 1,000 words done.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Cool.
I'm so glad I'm only a reader.
Me too. I always think about like maybe I'll like start writing for fun, and then I'm like, no, thank you. The pressure, there's too much. I'm not that creative. Like, no thanks.
Oh, I mean,
That
it's
is so-
worth doing.
That is so funny, Kristen, because when I finally finished with like college and all that, I didn't like adjust well to not being in school because I'd been in school for gosh knows how many years.
Yeah.
right.
So I took a like non-credit, just like one of those community enrichment classes. You know what I mean? Like they're through at the community college. Well, they were at the university that was near me, but it wasn't for credit. And I'm pretty sure it was the only class that, like, if the professor, and again, since it wasn't for credit, there was no grade, but pretty sure he did fail me. He's just nice about it. And I don't actually get a grade because apparently, as much as I think I am, I'm not a creative person. You would think that I'd be a great writer with all the reading I do. And no. So that crushed my blow. And
I'm the same way. I'm also terrible at spelling and grammar, and my parents make so much fun of me because I cannot spell. They're like, you read so many books, you should know how to spell things. And I'm like, yeah, but I can't. Sorry.
The words are already there. You don't like you know?
Exactly. I don't have to figure it out. It's already done for me.
true.
That's funny.
I'm great at spelling and grammar. English was always my favorite and best class in school.
Nice. Well, yeah, works out that you're right now, so
There you go.
right up your alley.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to start another?
Sure.
It'd be fun.
Sounds
Yeah. How about you want to do 30 minutes after?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Works for me.
good. I'm
Cool. Right. Happy reading, friends.
was late, guys. I got up really early. Like, I was celebrating the fact that I finally made a video yesterday. And I was just like, woo! And then I took a little nap. And then I'm like, look at the time. And I'm like, whoops. I'm here now.
Yay.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, I haven't met you yet.
Yeah, that's okay. My name is Robin Rose Graves. My YouTube channel is Spicy Miso Ramen, and I post mostly about science fiction. Is my introduction. I think you're Tiffany, right?
Yeah. I'm Tiffany from Masquerade Chick. I mostly talk about young adult books. I primarily read contemporaries, but I'm kind of expanding. The books that I really don't like to read are fantasy books, and I've kind of been challenging myself to read them. So, like, I'm kind of trying that out. But sci-fi can be really fun. That's really cool. What kind of books do you like to read sci-fi wise?
Kind of a little bit of everything, to be honest. Whether it is space opera or more speculative or dystopian, I'll read. So pretty much all over the place with the sci-fi genre. I love, anything that's kind of different. So
That's really cool.
yeah. What are you currently reading, Tiffany?
Yeah. So I'm continuing from the last stream, Again But Better. The booktuber Christine. So I've been reading her book. I'm so sick and tired of her being all clumsy, and some of the like writing I'm not liking. Like, there was a scene where she's thinking something. She has a thought, and then the dialogue just repeats that. I'm like, did we need that extra time? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
And I've heard people say that if she wasn't a booktuber, it wouldn't have been published, and I'm just like,
Did she get it traditionally published, or did she self-publish?
Yeah. Wednesday Books published it, so.
And it didn't go through an editor? Like, that's like
I'm
one of the first things I would have,
I'm
pointed
sure
out.
it did. Like, she documented all of her drafts, and she talked about it while she was writing it. I'm sure there was an editor, but I don't think they did a good job.
That's crazy. I'm like, what? That's that's like a mistake I would see occasionally from like self-published authors who just don't take the time to really edit it or put it through beta readers or anything. That's like crazy though that it got picked up by a traditional publisher and went through an editor, and yet it still has these gaping issues in the writing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, it's like that whole thing. I forget the term, but it's not that exactly like she earned it. The whole thing where they're like, well, we're going to publish anything that a YouTuber made. Because last year, I read a lot of YouTube books. I was just kind of curious because I happen to own some, and I read them, and I was like, oh, this is terrible. Like, you get what you get, but like, this is supposed to be a fictional book from a girl who reads books.
Exactly.
Like, what's up with that? Like, the one thing I saw was she's like, I released a breath I very much knew I was holding. It's like, okay, but you still don't have to talk about it. You changed it from all the fiction, but you didn't have to add that.
That's so weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm seeing your thoughts now, Kristen. I'm like, I still want to give it a chance. I definitely, because that's for me, like, if someone really hates something, I'm like, whoa, let me check how I feel. But yeah, I am seeing people talk about it.
I did finish it, but it was rough. And really, when you get to the point, you'll know when you get there. There's a point towards the end, and I just need to know your thoughts because I was not prepared, like, literally at all.
Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I had thought that I was, like, I had every intention of not reading it, and I was like, I'm still glad that I was able to go to a book meet, because that's not happening, and that was the first and only time I did it. So, like, that's one nice thing. Like, I can say achievement unlocked for my life, but that's really it, Yeah. I just don't understand, because there are a lot of books I've been reading, and I'm like, where's the editor? What's happening? That's the thing too that I think is a problem, where Christine had said that she would have her friends edit it. It's like, how many friends are like, oh, I'm going to be so ridiculously harsh to you and tell you all the problems with it. Most people are going to be like, okay, I'll tell her to tweak a couple things, but they're not going to, let her know, ooh, this isn't working.
Yeah, that's the only friend I ask for like editing advice. He actually works as an editor, so like he will give it to me straight usually. But yeah, if you're just like asking your best friend to read over something, they're probably not going to give you the feedback you really need. So
Absolutely. So you write?
I do write, yeah, science fiction, of course.
Awesome. Do you have anything, or is it just your aspiring writer?
I definitely am still probably in the aspiring writer category. All publications I have are short stories so far, and through a literary podcast called Simultaneous Times. Again, it's my pinned tweet on Twitter if you want to listen to the most recent episode that I did with the podcast. But yeah, as far as it's a big goal for me to finally finish my first book. I'm on the second draft so far, and I want to get it traditionally published, so it's going to be a couple of years before you're ever going to see it. So
yeah, that's my problem too. The fact that it took her such a long time to do the first draft, and I know she said like she was working on a few, she had a number. She had a number of the drafts, but I felt like it was really fast. And that's the thing too. When I hear people be like, "Oh, I had my first draft. I'm ready to go ahead and talk to somebody." It's like, dude, you gotta perfect that. Don't put it out when it isn't ready.
Yeah, I'm not even letting people beta read my story yet because there's so much cleanup I'm doing in the second draft that it's just a mess. The first draft, it's written down, but it's not good. Like
Exactly.
It's wasting people's time to have them look at it. So,
and that's what I saw too. I saw on Twitter yesterday where someone was saying it takes so many drafts before you really figure out what the book's about. So it's like,
right.
Give it a chance first.
Right. I think we have in the comments from Flick Foster. First of all, they say, I think quite a few books by YouTubers are ghostwritten, so those are at least fairly good. I didn't actually know that some booktubers use ghostwriters. That's interesting. And also they say, I'm also writing a book. Do you guys have any tips about the editing process? I'm not planning to go through a publishing house. If Johara comes back on here, she's a self-published author, so I think she would have a lot of good feedback on this question. As far as me, most of my editing, I'm learning how to do on a long book right now because this is my first ever long work I've really done. Otherwise, I've done the short stories, so it's a lot smaller of a process to do short stories. Also, there's a big difference in writing short stories and long stories. The focus is often different, a lot less emphasis on characters and stuff in a short story. So tips on editing. If you're self-publishing, Flick, please hire an editor. It's worth it. I've read I think only one self-published work this year, and the story was good, but it was still stuck in the second draft, and I felt that reading the whole thing. I'm like, this was such a creative story, and it could have been a fantastic story if he went through an editor and didn't just publish it before it was ready. So definitely hire yourself an editor when you're ready. Also, yeah, again, don't rush to get an editor either. I'm only on my second draft, and to hire an editor at this point, I would be wasting time and money on it. And the things that editor would tell me were things that I kind of already knew about my work. That's really for hammering out the finer points, like Tiffany said, of well, there's redundancy and thoughts, and then she says it physically. Yes, that is how I feel. It's very drafty. That's a good tip. Thank you. I'm glad that helped because I'm like, well, I'm learning too, Flick. You know, I don't know if I'm the best person to give advice, but keep going at it. You know,
True.
it's worth. I think it's worth writing. You know, no matter what, it's worth to at least write.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, Flick was asking about editing. How do you like stay consistent with writing? Because I really do like to write. Like I have a lot of work in progresses, but
Oh,
not.
that's awesome.
Thank you, but it hasn't gone that far. Like how do you keep consistent with writing?
It's a discipline, first of all. And yeah, I was at like this probably a similar stage to you were at in college where I had a lot of whips, but like I wasn't getting progress on them. And in order to get through my first draft of my book, it took so much dedication. I pretty much made a rule for myself. I have to work on it every day. And I have to at least add 100 words to the story. And once I got 100 words, if I was done for the day, that's fine. Most of the time, I wrote more than 100 words. Some days I would write only 100 words, but it mattered that I was at least putting it down. Second of all, I recommend don't really edit while you're writing the first draft because you're probably going to change it in the second draft anyway. You're just kind of wasting time and energy on sticking on that part too long. So a lot of the second draft I'm doing now, I have like inconsistencies I have to go back and fix because a couple chapters later I decided actually this bit of tech works like this, or like this bit of alien society is like this instead. So, you know, I didn't waste time and go back and fix it then. I'm fixing it now. If you are doing anything with lots of world building, keep a draft for that because I didn't do that the first time I wrote it, and now I'm going back and like writing down every little specific about the world I built. So very important. Though I know you said you read what more contemporary, you're not really into fantasy. And then the last thing is I would also reward myself every day too for sitting down and doing it. It kind of made me look forward to writing to have a reward. And so rewards could be anything. If it's like a piece of chocolate, that would be a reward someday, or a drink. You know, I would make myself a nice alcoholic drink or something afterwards, or a bath, or playing a video game. Anything that was enjoyable. It can't be a need. If you're putting, you know, dinner as your reward, it's not going to work. It's just going to stress you out more. But it did help me look forward to writing each day, and that's how I got through my first draft, and hopefully it will help you too.
All right, thank you. Those are some really great tips.
Thank you. And then Flick says again, I guess Camp NaNoWriMo is coming up, which is good for writing. For me anyway. I have done NaNoWriMo occasionally too. I don't know what Camp NaNoWriMo is exactly, but it is kind of the same concept of having daily word counts to achieve each day. So a good tool to look into too if you know, are interested in getting through a first draft.
Awesome. Hello, Tiffany. I'm sorry, I came back from the reading sprints late. I talked to my Mima every day on the phone, and she called me like in the middle of the sprint, and so we were chatting it up. And I can't cut off my Mima, so
There.
sorry. But hello, Tiffany. It's good to see you.
Hello.
And Sophia, hello, and Flick, hello. Sophia, I hope you got lots of sleep. She was up really late last night, so I hope you got good sleep.
Yeah.
How was everyone's?
Cut up.
Flick
You're asking
says-
about the sprints?
Yeah.
Yeah. The sprints were okay for me. Like I said, those few things I was talking about the book, I'm already frustrated with it, and I'm only on page 34, so it's like, woo, having fun times.
Yeah.
I end up being on the phone for most of my sprint, but it was a good conversation.
Good.
Still worthwhile,
Thanks.
yeah. I finished the book I was reading, so I'm gonna go on to the next one in the series.
That's not good.
Awesome.
How exciting.
That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I read like 50 pages. The tensions are still very high. I'm waiting for some sort of something to resolve, but we'll see what happens. I've heard multiple people say that this book like broke them, so I'm a little bit afraid, but we'll see what happens.
What are you reading again? I'm sorry, I know
Reading
you've
for
said
a
it
Dark
before.
Duet by Victoria Schwab, and I
It's
don't know what's gonna
abusing
happen. I'm
you.
really afraid one of the main characters is gonna die, and if that happens, I'm gonna be very, very upset. But it's fine for now. They're all still alive, so hopefully it stays like that.
What was I gonna say? I can't remember. I was gonna ask you something about it, but now I can't remember because Johara spawned again and it just completely
Poor Johara.
threw me off.
That's fair. Well, if you remember.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure I will eventually.
Awesome. Cool. Anyone in the chat, how did your sprint go? What are y'all reading? I feel like we haven't talked to you guys much. How's it going over there?
Yeah. Hello. No.
Like you're reading this Savage Song next. That's exciting. I don't remember much about the first one.
You enjoyed it?
That's the one I read 5 years ago, but I'm loving this one. So if this Savage Song is as good as I remember it being, then I hope you really enjoy.
Excellent. Are you enjoying it, Flick? Let us know if you are.
Yay.
I don't know if Gisella's still hanging out, but tell us what you're reading, Sophia. I feel like Kristen's right there. We were in a long reading sprint, and I don't know how to like comment when I see people come in and say hello during the reading sprint. So I try to like wave and acknowledge, but I don't know how to comment when you're not the host. Because when you're the host, you know, but I don't know how to do it if you're not.
Yeah, I'm still learning about like this video stream and technology stuff.
Absolutely, me too.
Yeah, me.
I'm like, I need a step-by-step process. And if it ventures from that, I'm like, it's like it implodes on me or something. So. Oh my gosh, there's 2 of her again. Freaky. Oh, she said, I haven't started yet. That's next week's read. Currently reading Where the Forest Meets the Stars. And it's great, but confusing. It's got a great title. Where the Forest Meets the Stars. I'm digging that.
I'm literally Googling it right now because I want to know what that's about.
Yeah, well, when you pull it up, Robin, let us know. Gisela said, love bites. Read a chapter, but doing other stuff too. Oh my gosh, there again, I love that name. That's Love Bites. That's great.
It says domestic fiction is the genre. The love story of unique proportions. 2 wounded adults and extremely intelligent child are drawn together in a fresh and fanciful story that will have you cheering for the geeks. Interesting.
Okay.
Doesn't tell me much, but I will leave it in my search history to look at more later.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I am digging the name. That's a pretty cool name.
Right. And then Love Bites sounds like it's a vampire novel, which
it does.
Dope,
yeah. I feel like it has no choice but to be a vampire novel.
Right.
Yeah. If it's not, I feel like it maybe missed its mark.
Right.
For
oh
sure.
my gosh. This is totally off topic, but I have to tell you this. So I have to get blood once a month, like drawn, because I have some stuff that they just have to monitor my blood. And the lady, well, there's several, but there's one lady there that I always love to get. She, no joke, has a she's a phlebotomist, and she has a tattoo that says bloodsucker. And the first time that she took my blood, I was so disappointed that all she did was like stick the needle in my arm and then say good day. I'm like, seriously? After that, I was expecting so much more. I don't know, something more exciting. Like, I was waiting for her to bite my neck or something. I don't know.
Victorian gear and like you walk into her office and she has candles lit there and she's like, welcome to my abode. And
Thank you.
You sit down in like this like armchair with like
I know. I was totally disappointed. She's like, have a seat. She's like asking me about my insurance, sticks a needle in my arm and then puts a Band-Aid on, says, have a good day. I'm like, wow, this is a real letdown.
Right.
And then I left and I'm like, maybe I've been reading too much because that like
There.
But every time I see the tattoo, it still makes me giggle because how like fitting is a phlebotomist to have a bloodsucker tattoo?
Right.
That is really hilarious.
I'm 100 pages in and I don't know much more. Okay. From The Forest Meets the Stars. So not too much has been revealed. Got it.
You like it so far, Flick? Even though I guess, you say you don't know much more about it, but you know.
Kristen, you said you were pretty close to the end and you read, that's what I remember what I was going to say. You read 50 pages?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
that's
book reads
fast.
so quickly, like incredibly quickly. Yeah, I have like 100 pages left. Maybe, actually, I have like 75 pages left. So, and I mean, it's a 500-page book, so
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
we almost made it. I know, it's very thick.
I like never read books that thick anymore for some reason.
I like don't usually either, but I have so many like fantasies on my TBR, and I was like, I have to start picking up some of them, even though they are like 500 plus pages. We've just got to commit.
Right.
But no, this one seriously reads super quickly. Like I will sit down and read like 50 pages in 25-30 minutes, which is wild.
Yeah, that's fast. Yeah.
Yeah, it reads super quickly. It changes point of view a lot, which I think helps because it's like you're always kind of bouncing around and new things are happening. So it's very like, oh my goodness, what's happening next? Like what's going on? Which I think drives it a lot, which is nice. But it's also about monsters, and it's just very stressful anytime the lights go out because the monsters can only like come in the dark. So the last thing that happened was like all of the power went out in the compound that they're in. So like the tensions were through the roof.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
But it's very good. I'm liking it a lot.
I bet.
That's good. It sounds a little too scary for me, but it sounds super exciting.
It is. It's very exciting. See, it's not, I wouldn't call it like super scary. I feel like it's more of a thriller than like a horror, but I mean, it does have like monsters with like glowing red eyes. So if that's not quite your vibe, then I probably wouldn't recommend.
I'm just a scaredy cat. Like I mean, anything can scare me.
Fair.
My husband's like, not that this is a joke, so he's not bossing me around. So I make the joke
I'm
like
the opposite.
one time I was watching a entire like marathon of Criminal Minds because I like it, but it scares the bejesus out of me. And like I like blocked the door with a chair to our house.
Yeah.
And my husband unlocked the door and he's like trying to get in and he's like trying to push open the door. And I'm like, what's the password? He's like, password. There's only 2 of us that live here and I have a key. Who do you think it is? And like, and I had taken out, no joke, like a frying pan. He's like, one of these times you're going to like take me out and then realize. He's like, seriously. He's like, you need to stop. Like anything can scare me. I'm scared. Like, yeah, little kid. So, but it sounds super intriguing and I really want to like scary stuff. I just, yeah.
No, that's totally fair.
Yeah. Oh, Flick said I really do like it.
Easy at all.
Oh. Well, then there you go.
Oh, it's a contemporary?
Yeah, that's what it kind of sounded like when I read the
Where the Forest Meets the Stars. I just would have assumed that was like some sort of like realistic fantasy or something.
Right, yeah. But still, I enjoy a contemporary here and there.
Yeah.
Gisela says, I read very slowly, so audiobooks are my new best friend, which I think, Tiffany, you do audiobooks a lot, don't you?
I do, yeah.
I can get
I didn't
that.
used to. It's Oh, sorry.
I
She
didn't
might
hear what
be
you said.
frozen again.
Oh, I feel so bad.
Yeah, I do audiobooks a lot. I didn't ever used to like hard. I mean, like it's probably in the last year, really. I started having lots of eyesight issues.
Mhm.
And I like to crochet. And so I can crochet and listen at the same time. So I've kind of moved more into doing audiobooks a lot more than I ever used to. And as long as the narrator is good, I really enjoy them. But the narrator, I don't know if you do a lot of audio, Robin, but the narrator
I
can make or break a
don't.
story.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter how good the story is, a narrator can just make it absolutely atrocious. And the exact opposite. I've read books that like the narrator, I was like, the author needs to write that narrator a thank you card because they really made that story come to life. So I think it can go either way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And sorry, Jahara, if I started talking over you. I think there's a lag, and so it was just like she had said something to me, and so I'm sorry
That's
if I
fine.
started talking when you were. But yes, Gisela, they are my new best friend as well. And if you use Hoopla, they have a ton of audiobooks.
Yeah.
Someone put a stake
I need to look into that still.
What's that?
I need to look into Hoopla. It sounds like it would be a great resource. I just
It is.
still yet to look into it.
Yeah, it's do you use any online like library source now?
Not usually. Sometimes I'll do stuff like straight through my library, but I don't do anything like with a third party app sort of
Okay.
thing.
I was gonna say because I use 3 different ones, and I think Hoopla is by far the best.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool.
But they're all through the library because, like, I use Overdrive through the library and Libby also through the library. They're both amazing, but Hoopla has the best variety.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and they also do like full season TV shows and movies.
Okay.
I always use it for books, but they do like and
Yeah.
magazines and all, I mean they really do a lot of like e-borrowing.
That's really good to
That's
know.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes, Gisela, absolutely. Make it or break it. True, true, true.
Yeah, it seems like for a narrator, they really keep stories alive because you're not reading it, so the narrator needs to bring it to life for you, I guess, from what I
Mhm.
understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Gisela said, I just saw they had WandaVision on Hoopla.
Oh, really? Didn't that like just start streaming?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's impressive.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's
Okay.
really popular at this point. I want to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing a ton about it, but I thought it was something completely different than it was. I'm not going to lie.
What did you think it was?
Oh my God. This is going to be so embarrassing. But
No.
y'all, I don't follow anything like this because isn't this, it's a superhero thing, right?
It's Marvel, yeah.
Okay. So my husband's really into like superheroes. And so I watch some of the movies, with him, and he's a Marvel fan. But
Yeah.
like on my own, I don't know. I honestly thought it was something with Wanda Sykes. I'm not going to lie, who I love. So I was really excited because I think she's hilarious. And so I'm like, oh, yeah. I that's so embarrassing. I really did.
I know, I love that so much.
You're
That's
so valid. Like,
So Wanda Sykes, if you're out there, now it's taken,
Right.
but that would have been amazing.
Wanda Sykes, if you're out there.
Sometimes I just, they say dream it to make it happen.
mhm.
There you go.
Oh,
Speak it to make it happen. So
My favorite in high school, my friends and I always used to say joke about it until it happens. So like
exactly.
totally.
Perfect. Yeah.
Exactly.
I never used to be into superheroes, but I got to Guardians of the Galaxy on Marvel, and so I watched
Mhm.
Infinity War for them. And my friend who watches every movie had to explain all the other characters because I only knew the Guardians of the Galaxy characters. But then recently,
Yeah.
I also got into some of these like Supergirl, Flash, Arrow. So I've gotten into them recently, but I've never used to.
Do you have
Yeah,
a favorite superhero?
I don't know anything. I've like seen
My favorite Marvel
but-
one is Gamora and
Mhm.
Wanda because I was a fan of hers.
Nice.
yeah. I
And
like
DC, it would be Sarah Lance, definitely.
I don't think I know Sarah Lance, but I don't know much of DC to be honest.
yeah.
No, I have no idea.
I've seen a couple Marvel movies, but the only thing you need to know about me is that I'm so uninvested that when my friends were going to see, I think, Infinity War, before they went to see it, I Googled who died and just told them good luck. Like, that's I literally, like, who dies in Infinity War? And then I, like, looked at the list and I just looked at them and I was like, have fun, guys. Like, let me know how it goes. See you later.
Oh my god, that's hysterical.
At least you
That's
didn't
why
spoil
I'm
it for
not-
them.
I don't care. Like, maybe I'll watch them someday. But at that point in time, I was like, I'm never going to watch these. So let's just spoil it for myself right now.
That's funny.
I actually ended up liking Infinity War and Endgame despite only seeing Guardians of the Galaxy. I ended up really liking them. They were good.
Totally fair.
Gisela said that's hilarious and a good idea. I don't know what she thinks is a good idea, but there's been a lot of free-flowing great ideas coming out of this. I feel like, you
I
know.
think she was talking about your Wanda Sykes WandaVision show.
Sweet.
We gotta
Sweet.
like find her like PR person and like contact her, get her in on this. The
Yeah,
fans have spoken.
exactly. I feel like we're really coming up with something good here.
Right.
I think
never
if we
really
all just
watched Wanda
start, like,
Sykes.
adding her on Twitter, maybe something will
Get
come of
something
it.
rolling, yeah. WandaVision 2.0.
I love it, Gisela. WandaVision 2.0. What'd you say, Johara? I'm sorry.
Oh my
She might be gone again.
Oh no.
She's really lagging for me right now, and I don't have like audio with her, but I can see her moving.
What did,
Oh, I heard something.
Yeah,
you
me
say-
too.
something to me? I think.
Oh, that's okay.
was
I
cut
thought
off
you
there.
had said something that we missed. Yeah. I think we've talked about this for talking about like, do you guys ever like have TV shows that you like wish would like reboot or like
Oh,
because I'm not a big reboot at all. I'm not a
Same.
big fan of the reboot because I usually think that they end up like doing something I don't
No.
like to a
Not
great
after the ones
series,
I've already seen. They
Yeah.
sucked.
you know, and then I'm disappointed. But like the thing that I can think of, I'm like, I swear to God, I really want to see a modern day like Golden Girls. It wouldn't have to be, I don't want to see it like the same characters because I don't think those 4 characters could be played by anybody else.
Mhm.
So I don't want to see another like Rose or Sophia, but like just a modern day. You could have like a gay man and you could like diversify
Yeah.
the like cast and have like, you know, some different culture or ethnicity or and then just living together and like the like antics that come about. Like I'm just picturing Morgan Freeman and like Susan Sarandon and like some other like really great all like living together in a house and like what that would look like. I mean, come on.
that sounds pretty awesome, to be honest. I used to work with seniors for a living for like the
I
past
don't
2
wa-
years. They're
I don't
so
wanna buff this.
hilarious. I love working with seniors.
They are hysterical.
Like
They're so funny.
they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The only
I
things
don't
I
want a
can
Buffy
think of.
reboot. I think they will ruin it. The original
Fair.
was too good. Same charm. Should not have rebooted that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Grace and Frankie. I have seen a bit of Grace and Frankie. That's cute.
I have talked about a reboot for Golden Girls before. I keep pitching the idea because there again, like, what if, some TV producer hears me? Hello,
Right.
call me. I expect royalties.
Hello. I love it.
And Gisela always says, Tiffany, watch Grace and Frankie. I so need to. So need to. I haven't been watching anything. I've been doing so many books lately. But yes, it's on my queue.
Yeah.
But I also think that Netflix, like, at some point is going to ask me, or Hulu is going to ask me, like, are you sure you want to watch, like, this episode of, I don't know, whatever, for the 15th time? I'm like, yes, obviously I do.
Don't
What's up
ask
with
me
the
that.
judgment, like Netflix? Get off my
Exactly.
back.
I know, because I watch like the same I don't know if you guys do that, but I have the same, like, I have like 5 or 6 shows that I love and I watch them like repetitively. Like, I'll start a new series and I'll watch 3 or 4 episodes. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, now I'm gonna go watch such and such again, Golden Girls, all again, or whatever it is. And so I'm pretty sure that Netflix and Hulu, like you said, just Robin, just judge me. I think they do. Yeah.
That's me too. I watch the same things over and over again, I swear. I do a lot of rereads
What sort
too,
of TV shows do you like to watch, Jahar? I don't know if she froze again or.
I watch a lot of fantasy just like I read. I watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Charm, Pretty Little Liars, which is actually a mystery, really good. Once Upon a Time.
Nice.
That's awesome. What do you like to watch, Robin?
I haven't been watching much TV lately either. I've been either
I don't
like
just watch fantasy
and
though.
reading mostly, or just
too.
like watching YouTube videos about shows that I don't watch. So
Me. I like keep getting curated on YouTube, like all of these like couple videos about TV shows that I have never seen before. And I'm like, why do you keep giving these to me? I'm like, make them go away. I watched
right.
like one compilation from a show that I had seen, and now I just get millions of these recommendations, and I'm like, please, please
They're
go
like,
away.
I hear you like
Oh my
this, so watch
mess.
more of it. It's like one time, YouTube, one time.
I know.
That's funny.
One time.
I'm surprised there is no repeat button on all of these platforms. Me
Giselle
too.
says, I'm surprised there's no repeat on all these platforms.
Just keep playing the same like shows over and over. Like once I finish it, just go back to the beginning. Like don't
Right.
even ask about it. Just do it.
Seriously. Like, just restart. Exactly. And don't ask me, am I still watching just because I've watched 10 episodes in a row? Obviously, I'm still watching Netflix.
That is the best. Anytime that pops up, I'm like, oh, so I've really spent too much of my day doing
Right?
this.
I know. It's like the same thing, like when like your Fitbit's like, you haven't stand in 8 hours and okay. I don't have a Fitbit.
You
so I'm
haven't
just kidding.
walked in the past 4 days. You should probably do that.
You haven't moved. Are you still alive? Like,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
still breathing that comes up?
Oh my goodness.
Exactly. Somebody sent me a picture. I just thought it was hysterical that they were doing a like Biggest Loser challenge closer to the beginning of the year, and they put their Fitbit on their dog's collar. I'm like, that is so wrong, y'all.
That's hilarious.
I'm like,
Racking
that
up
is
those steps
wrong.
like
It's
nobody's
hysterical, but it's wrong.
business.
I love that.
It's a little genius, but it's wrong.
Yeah.
True.
I grabbed a cherry Coke and I totally forgot about it, so it's just sitting here, probably all warm now.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
I can't drink like warm soda. It tastes weird to me, so
It's
I
so
feel
good.
your pain. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I frosted this like on purpose and now it's
can't
no longer
either,
chilled. I gotta throw it back in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yep, me too. Giselle said, "Are you still watching? That's my favorite." I don't know which show. We've created new shows today. We've talked about shows we've loved. I don't know.
I think she's talking about Grace and Frankie.
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't been watching a whole lot of TV, to be honest
I
with
think
you.
she's talking about Grace and Frankie.
But she might be talking about one of the shows that you were talking about, Johara.
Oh,
That could be.
someone put a stake in me.
All those shows I mentioned, I already finished and watched like 50 times. So
Fair.
What's the weather like where you guys are at today?
It's cold.
It is.
until 32.
Yeah, it's like 20 where I am.
I think it's 20 where I am as well.
I haven't been outside. I've not been outside.
It's gonna be like 60 on Wednesday though. I could cry. I'm so excited.
What? Same for me. Where do you live?
I'm in upstate New York.
I'm in Western New York. Okay, so
Okay,
same.
cool. That
Oh, wow.
checks. Love it.
I was like, that'd be so fucked up if you were like next door. I'm sorry that I just swore. I don't know if this is supposed to be a clean stream. But I'm like, what if you were like right
We're
next door?
secretly neighbors and we don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
It could
Like-
be.
All of a sudden,
Crazy things have
Don't
happened.
30
mess
seconds
up.
later, Kristen hears a knock on her door. like that kind of neighbor. No I'm kidding.
That
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Oh my god.
I love it.
That's funny. But yeah, I'm stoked for that 50 degrees weather because I'm done. I'm over the cold. I haven't left my house in 3 days because I don't
know.
like
Well,
going in the
that's,
cold.
Last night it got super cold again. It had been like kind of okay, but last night we got like 3 inches of snow. It was like,
Really?
excuse me?
So
Excuse
rude.
me? I was so
Yeah.
upset.
Yeah, oof.
Terrible. I'm so over the snow. I cannot wait for it to be gone.
Right?
I'd be black
Yeah.
sheep because I actually like the cold.
Do you? I used to when I was younger, but like I've been through too many snowstorms and like being out of power in the snow that I can't stand it
I love the
anymore.
cold.
I know. It's bleh. It's like nice for
I
the
hate
first
heat. I
month.
can't do it.
It was really nice on Christmas this year because like it had like this beautiful snow, like it was light and fluffy, and I was like, oh, this is so nice. I don't have to leave my house. And after that, I'm done. That's all.
Yeah.
Give me a white Christmas. That's it. I don't want to see snow again.
The issue is that like we'll sometimes have snow on Christmas, but not always. But we always get it from like January to March, and I'm like, but
Yeah.
I wanted you in December.
Right.
Yeah.
So rude of you.
Yeah, I'm in Florida now, but I grew up. I mean, I lived in Illinois till 2019, and like that's the way I was. If you can't snow on Christmas Day, you're useless to me, and
Right.
that's it. Like
What the heck?
that's it. That's
That's
it.
the only day I want snow, and you
Right.
can't
That is-
even do it then. What?
Right. But like Robin said, like 2 days later, there'll be an ice storm and I'll be out of power for 4 days. No, I'm over it. No,
Yeah.
no, no. No, 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 no.
The worst.
Giselle said an old coworker used to wave her arms in the air to win the office walk challenge on her Fitbit.
That's incredible.
That's hilarious. Oh, goodness. Oh, Flick said that she's in the UK, so she's jealous of your properly cold weather. Well, you can have it. Well,
Yeah.
I'm in Florida, so I can't give it to you. I'm
I'll
sorry,
package
but
it up and send it to you because I don't want it.
Really?
It's a giveaway, actually. You can
I
enter.
love the UK. I miss it. I have friends over there and I want to travel again so badly.
Did you ever live there or did you just visit there?
No, so I did like an exchange program when I was in high school where like I went over, I did it twice actually, but we went
I'm
over
so
and
jealous.
stayed with families there and then they came and stayed with us here for like a couple of weeks. So now
Yeah.
like I have friends over there, which is really nice, but
Where did you stay in Europe or the UK?
I've spent most of my time in Newcastle, England, but I've also spent some time in Edinburgh, Scotland as well.
oh, wow.
I bet that was so beautiful.
I love Edinburgh. I would love to live in Edinburgh. I think it's
Oh.
incredible.
I can only imagine. I've never been to Europe, but like it's like a goal of mine
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
either, but I really want to as well.
whenever it's no longer illegal.
I know. When we
Yeah.
can go again, it'll be great.
Right.
Gisela said that's a good thing about Florida, no snow. Gisela, you're in Florida too. Sweet.
So much
Represent.
Florida people. You
I
and
know.
Tiffany are both from Florida. We love
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Everyone from Florida's named Tiffany is what I'm getting from this.
Like, I will house swap with you anytime you want. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah. In a few months. Because I am not doing it when y'all have snow on the ground.
No, that's totally fair.
Rain and cloudy. Oh, it's nice here, Gisela. She said it's rainy and cloudy wherever she's at in Florida. And then Sophia said, yeah, she's in the UK too. Sweet, guys.
Another UK.
I love
Oh, Sophia said we managed to build a snowman. Do you want to build a snowman? Sorry.
Yeah.
it. Laura's got her Frozen shirt on, so it's very appropriate.
Excellent.
Oh, someone put a stake in me.
I melted 20.
I'm trying. There was.
I've never been to the States. We should house swap. That'd be so cool.
Yeah. Oh my
hate the
goodness.
cold.
20 Celsius is only like 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That's like still not even that warm. That's like
Yeah.
kind of chilly
That's
occasionally.
nothing. That's like
I hate
yeah,
the cold weather.
that's
I
like
would love to
t-shirt
be in
weather.
warmer. Nope.
Did you understand the accents? I'm assuming that question is towards me.
Yeah, I believe so, probably.
When it was
the
snowing, I
most
was in a
part,
t-shirt
yeah.
to work, and everyone was looking at me like I was insane.
The accents were pretty okay for the most part, but Newcastle has so many slang words that like they would be speaking English, but I would have absolutely no clue what they were saying because the way that the words went together didn't make any sense to me. But we got there eventually. It takes a second. You need like someone to translate for you.
Yeah, you know, living here in the States, so I feel like I need that for the younger generations
Me too,
too.
Phil.
So, like,
We can make a
even
package
without the
together.
accent,
I agree.
No, that's fair.
I work with, well, now I work with like really young kids, but I worked with adolescents for a long time, but now I do like CBT groups with like 6 to 11-year-olds, and the words and phrases they use, I'm like, can you just what are you just saying? Can you say it in like plain English? Because I don't know what
No.
you're.
Well, that's like, I'm only 23, but still, there's like, I work at a dance studio with like high schoolers, and
So
they
there
will
you go.
speak to me, and I'm like, I have no clue what you just said.
Yeah.
My like
Yeah, absolutely.
my technique with dealing with teenagers is I just quote Vines. And most of the time they know it. Otherwise, I'm
That's
lost with
fair.
references.
Well, I
So.
feel like now Vines aren't popular anymore. It's all
They're
about
not.
TikTok. But Vines hold my soul. So like,
Right.
let me know.
Yeah, like one girl I worked with, she would like get like Chipotle every day, and I'd be like, I said a healthy snack, Rebecca. Like every day to her, and I'm like,
Oh, I love that. Incredible.
it's the only way I know how to deal with teens is if they understand Vines, we're good. Otherwise, I have no idea what the teens
Yeah.
are into.
Yeah. Giselle said, "Oh, the rain and cloudy was about the UK. It's sunny. I was gonna say it's sunny here in Florida where I'm at. It's beautiful.
I
It's
wish I knew
really
what that was
here
like.
today, but it's still so cold. CBT for kids.
Yeah. It's I really enjoy it.
That is such a
I
cool
was
job.
doing substance abuse, like family and individual counseling before for adolescents. And every day for like 17 years, I was called like any name you want to possibly think of in the book. I got called it on a daily basis from like everybody. So from the client, then you would talk to their parent, then you would talk to their grandparent, because most of the time their grandparent was a very active in the picture, a lot of them. And so like 70-year-old people would be calling me like the C word. I'm like, Mima, don't say those words. Why would you say those? So like,
Good.
and like there was a lot of trauma and a lot of like always a crisis. You know, I was a residential facility, and we had like, well, we could hold up to 22 kids at a time per unit, so boy unit and a female unit, and there's almost 100% of the time you always had somebody on suicide watch. I mean, something like that. So like when it gets stressful here, I'm like, it's still so calm compared to that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was
Definitely,
gone for so long, guys. I had to do something. Plus,
that's fine.
I have this fan on full
Yeah.
blast, and I was sweating. I was so hot. I was just like, I can't be in here.
Can we switch problems? Because I'm freezing.
I'm so
Oh,
cold.
Where do you live?
I'm up here in Western New York, and like
Yeah, a little bit.
Effect Hell.
I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm in
Like,
between.
this is the worst.
Sometimes it can be so hot in Florida. It's
I-
nice. I like it, but it's so
Right.
hot sometimes.
It's the humidity, I think, is what would get to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the humidity can be really bad here during certain months of the year, and so I hear people say, "Oh, I couldn't live there." And I'm like, "Well, it's probably no different than like you talking about, Robin, you haven't left your house in 3 days because of the cold."
Right.
That's kind of how it is in Florida. You like don't leave the house in the few days in those days in the summer unless you're sitting at the pool or in the pool. You don't really, you're in. So it's kind of like the trade-off of the exact same thing, but just different.
Pick your
extremes.
poison, you know.
Yeah, different extremes.
Yeah, that's the thing that I don't understand. People are like, "Oh, it's so hot in Florida." It's like it's hot in Illinois too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get it all. You get the horrible cold, and you get the sweltering hot. Like, you know. Versus now, I don't have to deal with the cold. Like, I would hate the blizzards, and yeah, because when I used to have my old car used to not have, it was like horrible with getting heat. So I would have to drive home from work, or it would be outside, and I'd have to, ice it off and try to warm up while I go out, and it's, negative whatever. And it's like, dude, this is torture. And you're driving for, say, 20, 30 minutes, and it's still just as cold as it was when you first got in there. It was terrible.
No, that's the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice that I have a car now that works because it's pretty new. It was, it's a 2016 car, so it's like way better. And then it was like, and then I left. But But
Yeah,
I
my
mean,
last
better
card.
that I have the good air conditioning. Sorry?
My last card got like absolutely destroyed from winter because of like snow getting underneath it. Literally, the frame of it rusted through and it broke in half.
Oh wow.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I suddenly had to replace my car last year, which was really fun because
Yeah.
winter just
Stressful.
killed it.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing that I really don't like. So my dad and my brother, they were the ones who got the car, and they got the car because they're like, oh, we want to fix her upper. And you know how terrible it was? It always had a check engine light on, and you couldn't fix it. You couldn't change it or anything. Like something was wrong with it, but no one could figure out what it is. I mean, part of it is the fact that, you know, you couldn't get any heat.
Wow.
But you know, it had such an issue, and you know, it was a whole thing where it's like it was definitely not worth it. Like it was like I don't remember how much I paid for it. It was either like $2,000 or something along those lines, and they put way more money into it, and it was not worth it at all.
Crazy.
No.
The one good thing is when we got my new car, we at least got to put a you know, the car dealership at least took some of that money out, and they're like, okay, we're gonna sell it. I wouldn't be surprised if they just demolished it, because it's like, what are you gonna do with a car like this?
Right.
There.
Like the one nice thing was it was a convertible. That was nice, but that's what also was terrible about during the cold times. Like it did
Yeah.
not.
Doesn't do anything for you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Put a stake in me.
Sorry, it's funny. Sophia, where in the UK are you? Like, so Sophia said, or at Sophia grew up in Portsmouth. Now I live in Gloucestershire. I probably said that totally wrong. I probably just butchered that. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh my
Everybody's
goodness.
like, yeah, you did.
No, I'm trying to think of how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
I'm
I would
just
have
kidding,
no clue
Robin.
how to pronounce that.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's the one thing too that is so hard sometimes with fantasy books or just what people write. You have no idea how they're pronounced. Like at least Sarah J. Maas does have a translation, but you have to go to the end of the book. If you didn't already know, then how are you supposed to read
I
that?
just make stuff up and I commit
Right.
to it.
No, that's
I'm like,
exactly
this is
what it
wrong, but it's how I say it now.
I
Yeah.
don't even.
Like I appreciated that Christine for Sarah actually had, you know, pronounced Sarah. Like, thank you for actually putting it out there. Well, that's the thing too. When I read Harry Potter, I did not know how Hermione was said. For whatever
Okay.
reason, there was an I. For whatever reason, I called her Hermione. I called her Hermione.
Same.
This one book I just
I love that.
received in the mail has a few pages at the very beginning that says how to pronounce all of them.
Oh, that is so helpful.
That's so helpful. Yeah.
They really should have that more, because it's like this isn't you know, it isn't like we're learning a language. It's just we're trying to read a book. We're trying to have fun. You don't have to make us feel dumb because we don't understand your, you know, it's a totally different. I
that's
just
really
don't get it.
Even I
Well-
just read Honey Girl, which is a contemporary book. There are no like
That's on my TBR.
read it first of all, it's incredible. But it's just a contemporary. Like it shouldn't be that hard, but she calls her dad Colonel because he was in the military. But Colonel is spelled horrifically. So
I
I just
know.
mentally pronounced it like Colonel the whole time, and I didn't care. I was like, I can't commit to trying to remember that this is pronounced
No.
Colonel. It's too much for my brain. It's too
Yeah,
much effort.
And what is even up with that? Where, you know, why can't it be that words look like how they're said? Like I don't understand.
Or
They
even,
love
or
to
even,
use this all.
or even sound, or at least said like how they are spelled phonetically. You know what I mean? But I think I tweeted it out a few weeks ago. I was like, gotta tell you, I was like, this is an author tip just from a reader. I'm just saying, you don't have to take it, but I'm giving you my words of wisdom. If you make a name and it's 15 syllables and there's only one vowel, I'm calling them Mary and Joseph. I'm just letting you know. I'm done.
There.
So you're wasting a lot of your creativity on that. At least for me, you are.
Yeah.
But
I'm a big fan of like a first initial type deal. Like, just give me like a 3-letter name and call it a day.
Absolutely. It really makes no sense. It's like, yeah.
Gisela said your story reminds me of my first car. I needed oil every 2 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gloucestershire.
That's terrible. Yeah. I just don't get it. Like, I know that there are like classic cars and, you know, people like them. And it's like, it's definitely something that people should really just keep it like, oh, this is a cool car. I'm not going to drive it though. But that's the thing too. There's like certain things with an old car, some cars anyway, where you can't even drive it on the road. There's like certain restrictions now with what the car has to be. Like it's,
Yeah.
I don't think it's pollution. It's something, but and it's so. I don't know what I'm saying, but it's just, you know, those kind of cars, and then you're trying to drive it, and it's like it doesn't work anymore, guys.
It looks like kids put the pronunciation in the chat. I still don't even know if I could pronounce it though. Gloucestershire?
that's what I was thinking in my head when I saw the pronunciation. So it sounds good to me. Yeah. Gisela said I was listening to an audiobook and realized I've been saying the names of almost all the characters wrong for years. I can so relate to that. I think I've definitely done that before. I'm like, wait, what? I thought their name was whatever. Yeah.
Fair.
Absolutely.
I'm glad I pronounced it right. That's very exciting.
A Rolls Royce. Wow.
Crazy.
That is crazy. What's a Rolls? Wow.
All right.
Spot on with the pronunciation, Kristen.
Thank you. I'm very well traveled. Look at me go. Do we think we want to do another sprint? I
Yeah.
feel like we've been chatting for a while.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You think someone tried to steal it, but it didn't even
Yeah.
start.
Well, that's the
How
thing. You
about
don't even take it to a
53?
gas station.
A mess. All right.
Let's do it.
Cool. Johara, I don't know if you're here or not, but oh, spawning again.
I mean, not that I'm happy that she's having, not that I'm happy she's having trouble. Don't get me wrong. I just love when there's two of her.
I think it's great.
Hello, clones.
Exactly.
All right. Johara, how long do you think you want to sprint for? This is your channel, so
Yeah, this
whatever
is
you
my
want
clone.
Oh, her spawn went away. Wonder which one's the good and which one's the evil one. Like which one we got now?
to do. We'll
Damn.
never
That
know.
could be a good thing though. You know those I'm trying to remember what those movies were. The movies where it was like Unfriended or something. The little horror thing, and you would have to call, and there was like some creepy thing, and it took everyone. You know, someone.
I've never seen it. But
Where
that
there's
sounds
one
cool.
good and one bad.
Oh,
That
so
sounds
my
stressful.
evil and good. Yeah. See, I wonder which one we got.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie.
Yeah, I never watched it, but it's definitely very
Yeah.
timely now.
It never showed it though. They were on video chat.
Yeah.
You never know.
So, Johar, would you like to go at 35? How long do you want to do it?
I watched it once.
Are we already reading?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not really.
I
I'm
have
not
no
really
clue
sure.
what's
I'm
happening.
ready. I don't know either, but I'm ready to sprint when
So
everybody
let's
else
do
is.
it till
I think
55.
Okay.
55?
So let's
Sounds
do 20
good.
minutes, guys.
Happy
Cool.
reading.
Oh, I'm gonna turn off my mic.
What?
For Frozen Johara.
I was thinking 20 minutes.
Perfect.
stake in me. Oh, someone put a stake in me.
Hi.
Hello. How was your sprint?
Want to go first? No. I'll talk about mine.
Good. I didn't want to stop reading. It's really good.
I was just about to finish my chapter, and then it's like, okay, I guess we'll stop now. But oh my gosh. So I don't because I don't know if some of you guys don't know about this book with Again But Better, is that she's studying abroad in London and everything. And I don't know anything about London, strictly American. That's my knowledge. And so here I am. I've already had to look up Prime Meridian, the pub, things like that. Like, I totally forgot about the Prime Meridian. I'm like, what are they talking about? Just all these things, and like what they're saying, there's the Tube. What's that? And then they finally tell you after so many pages. I'm like, could have just told me if you were gonna specify. This is fun times for me. But I forgot. There's something that I had to. Well, one thing is, Kristen, I don't know how you felt, but I could not stand. I am so frustrated by the dialogue. Like, so much of this is so unnecessary. They're like, oh, you took a drink and you slammed it down. Let's talk on that and talk for like a whole page.
I definitely feel like I remember it being way longer than it needed to be. Like, isn't it like 400 pages or something? Like, it is just
It's
way too long.
373. It's 373.
Yeah.
So
It's too many pages.
no, but seriously, like, I know contemporaries have their own dialogue, and sometimes there's like quirky characters and stuff, but this is just ridiculous. I am not having the most happiest of times reading this. Like, I'm like, guys, please chill. And like I said, Kristen, I cannot stand when, writing, it's the exclamation points. Like, so much enthusiasm. It's like, please chill. You can still
So
show
many exclamation
you don't
points.
have to- Sorry?
So many exclamation points. Truly so
Yeah.
many.
You do not have to do all that. Like, you can still be excited with a period. Like,
Yeah.
See, I don't know if I'd want to read it, but that's how I write because I'm the most hyper person in the world. So I'm always like, exclamation point, exclamation. But that's like my personality in a nutshell. Like, I am constantly on a 10. Like, even the little kids at work are like, chill. Like,
Oh my god.
But I don't know if I'd want my authors to write like that. I
Yeah.
write like that because I'm an amateur.
Fair.
And again,
but that's the
it's
thing.
more
Like,
my personality.
yeah, absolutely. But that's the thing. Like, I mean, I definitely have like a very, loud voice. I talk a lot. I get very excited, but that does not mean that when I write and, when, doing things like writing
Me
is professional.
too.
Like, you can write about whatever. You can have so much fun, but you do not have to go and act that type of way. At least in my eyes, I'm not digging it. I really don't like that.
Yeah.
I knew coming from Christine's videos, I knew this could be a potential, but that's why I DNF'd. I tried to read it, maybe 2019. I think I was trying to read that book. I'm like, I got to like 50 pages, and like it was just, we're doing this, whoa! And I'm like, please chill. I
totally.
really don't like that.
Gotcha. That's funny.
Because that's the thing, like, I learned in school, do not use exclamation points all the time. And so I've been conditioned, like, hey, I'm not going to do that. If there's something, or, like, if you're mad, or, like, if there's a legitimate reason for it, okay, but doing it all the time? No, it's just, like, highlighting a full page instead of, like, one highlight. You don't need to do that. You're doing way too much.
Bye, Flick.
Yeah, that's what I was waving at just in case we missed her. Bye,
Yeah.
Flick.
I'm gonna follow.
Thank you for joining us. I will look you up on Twitter most definitely.
Me too,
Thanks
yeah.
for joining us.
Oh,
Yay.
someone put a stake in.
Thanks.
Real quick, I saw Sophia said I couldn't finish my book. It wasn't gelling with me. Yeah. So I started Murder with a Cherry on Top instead. Oh my gosh. I actually just read book 2 of the Cynthia Baxter yesterday or the day before. That was that Lickety Splits ice cream series I was telling you about. She's reading the first one. I really liked it.
I love that.
Unless
Oh,
I'm
the
totally
name
thinking.
really get me.
What's that?
The names really get me. They're so freaking cute. I love
They're,
them.
they're so funny. I really enjoy the really punny ones. Like I'm getting ready to read that one that's called Here Today, Gone to Mali, and it takes place in a Mexican restaurant. I'm so excited.
They're so dumb. I love them.
Oh my god. I love the punny ones. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The cute ones are cute, but the punny ones really get me. Oh.
Incredible. How was your sprint, Tiffany?
It was oh yeah, me. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I edited, but it was good. I got almost the whole video done, so I'm happy.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
How about yours, guys?
Mine was good. I'm like, things are still, they keep escalating. There has been no de-escalation at all. They keep getting worse. And I now have like 50, I have like 50 pages left. And I'm like, SOS, save our ship. I don't know what's going to happen next.
That always gives me even more anxiety on top because it's like, how can you wrap this up in 50 pages and not, again, break my heart?
So many loose ends, and I don't know where they're all gonna go. So I just feel like someone's gonna die still, and I'm so sad about it.
Is it the first one or is it a sequel?
It's the second one. There's not another one after this, so I'm like,
no,
something's got to give in the next 50 pages.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
That's
Stress.
really, but I mean, that's something that at least a lot of us can say. It might not get to me that much because I don't really read that much besides contemporaries, but I'm like trying to branch out. But yeah, like there. With the 3-story arc, it's your resolution is like here, and then there's some, it's the falling action or something, or there's like the one where it's like chill, it's like this line, and it's like, yeah, you give us a little bit of a pause before you end the book. Why are you doing this? That doesn't make sense.
I know the tensions are high, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it all works out well. We'll see.
Well, hopefully it's not like the end of that Star Wars story, Rogue One. I'm still mad about that one.
I never watched
You
those
guys know what
ones.
happened in that one at the end?
No.
I don't know.
So spoiler alert, they die.
All of them?
They all die. I'm like, dude, like,
wait, that's so wild.
Yeah,
I believe I have to watch it now just because they all
Star
die.
Wars. Sorry?
I can't believe I have to watch it now.
It's so good. It's so good. Here's the thing. I really don't like Star Wars, but I gave this one a chance because I liked The Force Awakens. And so I watched this movie and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love these characters. I can't stand the other characters, but I really like these characters. And then at the very end, they all die. I'm like, oh, how dare you?
That's a good way to wrap it up, though. I'm like totally in favor of an ending like that because like there's no loose ends. You know what happens. Like, good night, everyone. See you later.
It still makes me mad. I was invested. Like, if it's characters I don't care about, whatever. But they did that to me. How dare they? Oh, I'm still so mad about it.
Oh my God, that's hilarious, Kristen. Robin, did you have a good reading sprint?
The only Star Wars I watch is Clone.
I've never seen any Star Wars, so I'm so sorry. I know it's crazy, but
So the last time we did a sprint before this one, I finished the book I was reading, so I pulled up the next one
I
in the
watched
series.
Clone
So
Wars,
like,
and that's it.
I just couldn't get into reading, so I started working on writing, and I added about like 400 words. So
That's so impressive. Good job.
that's
nice.
So I'll probably do a little bit of writing for the rest of this.
Yeah, that is so impressive. Like I was working on a review. I think I mentioned it during one of my sprints. I feel like I did. But there was a book that I was reviewing that I read in January. It's called Moment of Truth by Casey West. And there was this subplot And while I was reviewing, because like when I read the book, I didn't think about it, but once I was reviewing it and I looked at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, because there was like this scene that was really heartfelt and I really liked it. And then I actually came up with a new concept, a story idea, and it's like this parallel universe thing, alternate reality. And I'm not going to get into it because I really want to keep it on the down low, but it is so cool. And when I, was writing it, I already have 9 pages in one day, which I'm still very proud of myself for.
Oh my god, I don't think I've ever done that much in one day.
Yeah, like I was very happy with it. I haven't gotten to it in a few weeks, but I definitely do want to get to it. But yeah, that's the thing. I really got to be consistent because there are times where I have such big deal inspiration and everything. Like there's a book that's kind of dystopian, and like it has politics and stuff, and like I had so many thoughts, and so I finally just just did a little recording talking about it, and I'm like, okay, then I can add to it, and I still have the file. But what's cool is with Google Docs, you can go ahead and just have the words at least it can try its best, text to speech.
I didn't know Docs did that. That's cool.
Yeah, I did it for one of the reviews for a NetGalley book. I still gotta put out the review, but I'm like trying to put out my thoughts, and I'm like, okay, let me just say it, and then maybe I can actually do it. It's still taking me a while, but yeah, like it's it's so cool to write, except when I can't figure out what to write about. Hopefully, I can do it though. But
it's not always fun. So yeah, definitely write it now that it's like inspired and fun. But like if it's not fun, sometimes every author gets to that point where it's like, I'm dreading this. So like, don't take that as discouragement.
Exactly.
Just try to write it through. Accept that, okay, this isn't a good writing day for me. Do the best you can, and then go on. But I've noticed that some people just like take that as like, well, I can't write then if I'm not in the mood to write. And I'm like, well, if you really want to do this, I'm sorry, it's gonna be painful sometimes. Like, just try to go through it anyway. You will get back to the point where you're like, so inspired again and everything's great. Like,
Exactly. Such a good point. Yeah.
I did an author interview yesterday, and it was really funny because she has quite a few books, and she said that her writing style is like the stages of grief. She's like, you go through like the she's like, and my husband now reads them. She's like, he can walk in the room and be like, oh, I shouldn't speak to you today. She's like, why? Because I don't have my hair done and my makeup and I've ripped out clumps of it. Is that why?
Oh, I love that.
I'm like, that's hysterical, because I feel like that's probably, I mean, I'm not a writer, but I feel like that's probably pretty true. Like you go through like where you're like, I'm awesome. And then there's days where like it's a travesty and you probably want to burn your manuscript like you see, in the movie, it was really funny. I was like, and being like from a psych background and counseling background, like I really understand the stages of grief. So it really like resonated with me. I'm like, that's hysterical.
That's really cool.
Totally fair.
it's funny.
I love it.
So,
Sophie?
I
was just going to read the one comment. I'm sorry. Sophia said, I love it, and it's making me crave ice cream. I loved it too. I really loved the second book too. Go ahead, Tiffany. Sorry.
I was just going to ask Kristen, what are you going to read when you're done with your book?
Oh, I have absolutely no idea yet. I think we talked about this on Friday, but I am such a mood reader that I do not figure out what I'm going to read until I've already finished what I'm currently reading. It's like too much pressure. I'm like, I'll figure it out later.
No, absolutely. And that's the thing too. Like, right now, because I really want to film a video, because now that I've actually edited my video, it's finally done. I did it. I really want
That's
to
awesome.
go ahead and do like my January and February wrap-ups. But here's the thing, I really want to have, my bookshelves, I want to have them set up. But right now, I'm trying to figure out how to best do it, because like I started doing it by color and height, and it was working out really well, but I don't have enough of the hardbacks. Like I have enough if I use my paperbacks, but I was kind of more using the hardbacks, and it's just not working. And so now they're just sitting there like this, each of them stacked. So just stacked on.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping I can figure that one out. But
The bookshelf is chaos. So
yes, yeah. But I am so looking forward to getting back into BookTube. Like, these live shows have been so fun and great, and I've been making friends and everything like that, and that's been really cool. And it's like, how about you also do that with your BookTube channel? And it's like, fair point.
yeah,
Very fair point. So
that's totally fair.
What is your booktube channel, Tiffany? Because I want to follow you before I
yeah,
forget.
absolutely. So it's Masquerade Chick. Yeah. So
Are you the same thing on Twitter too, or do you not have Twitter? Or
sorry.
do you have Twitter too?
Yeah, it's
Same thing?
Masquerade Chick, and yeah, I have all my links on there. Yep, I have a
Okay,
little, the pinned tweet. I have that, the Goodreads, YouTube. So.
Oh, I did already follow you. Okay. Yeah, I'm losing my head then. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I followed you because I followed everyone else already.
Well, now see, that's the thing when you get like all these like follow, like a lot of people follow you at once you don't even see. So which one is yours?
Spicy Miso Robin on Twitter, Spicy Miso Ramen on YouTube.
Okay.
Love it.
That distinction.
And it's Robin, ROBYN, right?
Oh, IN.
IN. Dang. Okay.
I think that
Oh, I'm already
Spicy
following
Miso
you. Okay.
Robin
No, yeah.
is so funny.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm already following you. Okay, good.
Well, I made the
So-
YouTube channel first, and then
The
Spicy
fact that
Miso
you
Ramen
made
was
the
taken.
channel first and like it just happened to fit so well with your actual name is genuinely
Right.
incredible. Like I love that
Well, I
so
was
much.
like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't do what I want to do for my Twitter handle, so I was like, I know, I'll just replace the last word with my name. Like, it sounds
so
the same.
good.
It worked out amazing. So.
Genuinely immaculate. Like we love
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, y'all. It might almost be time for me to go start figuring out what I'm doing for dinner and with the rest of my day.
I feel you.
I-
I'm like, my battery is going low. Like, my battery. Like, not
No, that's
even my
fair.
computer, just me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
But this was super
so-
fun.
Oh yeah,
It was-
absolutely.
It was very fun. I don't know what, if you guys. So we've been doing them on Friday and Sunday, and I've said to Kristen because Jahara and Sarah and I've been doing them, or Sarah, Jahara
I was actually
and
thinking about
Tiffany and
ending
I
the stream anyways because I'm hungry too.
have been doing them for a little bit. But if you guys like want to do them regularly with us, we should put you in like a rotation of you hosting too, so you
Yeah.
can
What?
have it on your channel.
That would be great.
Dang.
Absolutely.
So-
Could I just say one thing? I am so sorry. I'm trying to find your account. Could you just spell it out for me?
Yes, oh my god, I have to spell now. SPICYMISOROBIN. There we go.
I don't know if anybody else noticed, but when you started first spelling, I thought you were spelling the Mickey Mouse song.
I'm not so familiar because I don't spend a lot of time with kids. I'm sorry.
Oh, the MICKEY.
Oh.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
gosh.
don't know why I thought I did like spicy like me. So
Oh,
and then
oh.
I did ramen. I did not hear that right.
That's because the ramen is me on YouTube. Yeah.
Now I got it.
I love
Sure,
it.
I'm subscribed on
Yeah, but,
YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe we should set up a group chat or something on Twitter to figure out how we want to do it, because I definitely would like to host a reading sprint next week if you guys are good, or we could we can figure it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think I hosted last weekend, so it definitely wouldn't be me. I was just saying, like, I know that Kristen and and Robin and Jessica from Lady Lovestead might want to host
Yeah.
too. So I was just saying maybe there's a rotation that we can all start so that everybody kind of gets that chance and kind of
It
rotate back
absolutely
and
is a
forth.
really good idea to do. Yeah.
But-
yeah.
But yeah, we can all chat on Twitter. I think I talk with everybody through message on Twitter. Robin, is your Twitter allow you to do like the private DM messaging where
I
we can send
believe
you links
so.
and stuff?
Yeah, I think so. Let me know
Okay.
if it
Yeah,
doesn't.
I see on the
Okay.
on just with the following that it shows up, so it should work.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
All right.
All
Well,
right, so
thanks
are we good,
everybody
guys?
that came to that talked with us in the chat. Thank
Right.
you,
Absolutely.
Sophia,
Thank you, guys.
Gisela. Awesome.
All right.
All right.
Hopefully
Bye,
we'll see you all
everyone.
again soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Have a
Yeah,
great
thanks.
week, guys. Bye.
How do I leave? How do I?
See ya.